Hello, and welcome to another episode of Worst Collection Ever. This is a show where we tell you about the worst comic book collection in existence, and it just happens to belong to us. I'm Jen.
I'm Shawn.
Hi.
Oh, hi. So, welcome to the podcast. This is the podcast where we make fun of our comic books and our comic book collection. We say a lot of rude and disgusting things about the heroes that we love and cherish. I guess that's really what it is.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, and I guess we need to talk about Superman.
Superman the movie.
Yeah, Superman the movie 2025.
Yeah, we'll try to keep it spoiler-free.
Yeah, we're going to try to keep it spoiler-free and just kind of keep it a little bit brief. Because, to be honest, this movie, as you put it, was kind of a movie that you walk out of the theater and you completely forget after a while.
That's kind of what happened to me.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's just because I'm dumb, but I was just like, oh, it's gone.
Well, the thing is that it's not bad. You know,
no,
it's
that's
not a
the
bad
thing.
movie.
I didn't dislike it. I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it.
Yeah.
I kind of just don't feel strongly either way. I'm like, oh, that was a good movie. I thought a lot of the performances were good from pretty much all of the actors. I loved that you could actually see things. It was nice and bright. That was fun. I liked seeing, bringing in other characters. But then there were other parts of it where I was just like, what the fuck? Like, minor spoilers, but what his Kryptonian parents wanted him to do here on Earth was kind of gross and right out of fanfic. So I was like, why is this in my movie?
Yeah, I was confused by that.
Why is this in my movie?
I was confused by this turn of having this be a thing where his heritage betrays him in a way, and that's what is used to, I guess, turn him against society. Yeah.
And I mean, I don't mind, like, you don't have to portray, his Kryptonian parents as like perfect little good-hearted people. They can be assholes, but I really just did not need, and I'm going to spoiler right here, I didn't need the word harem used ever. Yeah. Because it literally is a fanfic trope. I can pull up so many of them right now on AO3 where Superman has a fucking harem and the excuse is for him to fuck any character you can think of. And I'm like, we don't need this in this movie.
That was something I didn't need in my 2025 Superman movie. I figured it was...
Yeah, I would have been fine with, lord over them and create a race of strong Kryptonians. That would have been fine. You didn't have to give me the word harem. Because again, I went right to fanfic and I was like, no.
I also, something that kind of frustrated me is I feel like even though there was action in it, I feel like, did it feel to you that there wasn't enough action?
I feel like there wasn't enough action that actually mattered.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And I say that as in like, we get the kaiju fight.
Right.
But it's a distraction, So, yeah, it's important for him to do and he has to take care of it. Meh. It's easy to forget that even happened in the movie.
Because it happened so randomly.
Yeah, the action doesn't really the thing that matters is what happens towards the end with the portal thing. That's what starts to matter.
Even that portal thing, though,
that's when it got gloppy. That's when I was like, ooh, CGI glop.
Yeah, but also another thing, too, where it's you have these movies that you don't have to have a world-ending scheme every time you do a superhero movie. Maybe it didn't, even though it's Superman and he can figure it out, and then Lex Luthor makes it. It's just, I don't know, maybe just try that because this is new. This is a new Superman movie for a new generation of, kids, or people or fans, and you can maybe make it a little bit easier to digest in parts, without it having to. But granted, a lot of these people that or watch this movie are also trained by Marvel movies, and Marvel movies, the stakes are always super high.
Yeah. Except in that Spider-Man movie, which is actually probably my favorite Spider-Man movie.
Oh, Homecoming?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I appreciate it.
It's just very small. You got the really small story, contained. The world will not end. You just got Michael Keaton trying to do things, and what's his face trying to stop him. And I'm like, yeah, it was great. So yeah, I think that kind of got a little bit much. I thought Mr. Terrific looked great. I saw, when I saw him in preview, I thought he looked great.
Him and his found out makeup.
Yeah, no, and the actor did as best he could with that like thing on his face because I can't imagine he could actually move.
That guy was pretty great, and I really feel too that, and this is something that I think a lot of us were worried about because of the
too many characters
being involved, and I thought it was actually handled quite well.
Yeah, no, I did too.
You did what you could to let certain ones shine. I feel like there should have been more opportunities for others to be more. Maybe that's kind of why I was complaining about the actions, because like I wanted to see more of Guy Gardner.
Of course.
Like I like Guy, you know, and maybe we had just enough of him, maybe in hindsight, but at the same time I was kind of like I needed more of him. And I think what also was good too is that, you know, we had all these characters, for at least most of them, you kind of know what they can do.
Yeah.
And you know why they exist and why they're together. You know, because like the Justice Gang or the Justice League, I mean, they're just there.
Yeah, they're being funded by Maxwell Lord.
Right. And we didn't need a big explanation about who they are. They're just a group of heroes, you know, which we already, if you watch Marvel movies or any DC or any sort of, you know, superhero media, you know what that is. It's like, okay, superheroes get together and they fight crime, or they fight.
This is a team, and this is what they're doing, and they show up and they fight crime. Yeah. No, I thought that was really cool. I did appreciate that. Again, I really did like that we didn't have to like make the world small, focus on my voice shit like we did.
We didn't need him trying to rein in parts of his repertoire.
Yeah, we didn't have to see him crash landing in a cornfield somewhere. Like, we get it, we know. So I did appreciate that a lot. I also appreciated that we get a Superman who actually wants to fuck. Like, thumbs up on that one, because he like shows up in Lois's apartment. He's like, I'm making you breakfast, but really it was, I'm here to fuck you, which thumbs the fuck up on that, because it was like, finally, because he gets so sexless, you know. That's true. Just superhero movies in general get very sexless. So the idea that he was like, hi, I'm here, I'm going to put you on this counter and we're going to tongue kiss. Yeah. I'm like, fucking finally, thank God.
Yeah, no, it was appreciated.
Again, I did really think what David Cornsweat or whatever his name is.
Cornsweat, I think.
Cornsweat.
I always want to call him Cornsweats.
Just really surprised he's not British with that last name.
100%. That is.
Like, I honestly, when I read it, I was like,
Anglo.
I was like, oh, we got another British guy playing Superman. I was like, oh no, he's from like Pennsylvania or some shit.
He's a Philly boy.
But I thought he was great. He really does. You know, he has this physical size you need to be Superman, because he's a big dude. And yeah, I thought he was good.
Well, thinking about him going back to when he was in Pearl.
He was in Pearl. I forgot about that.
He's a pretty strapping dude in that movie.
Oh, yeah. He's like the projectionist, and he's just like very, very tall, like taking up the whole door.
Because Mia Goth in there, which we thought she was much shorter than she actually is, but she's not. You know, he's up against her, and he's looking pretty buff. He filled out pretty good. You know, he's definitely got a way more youngish face. I don't know. It's something about his face. Like maybe it's not square enough. That
might be. It might also just be that he's younger, because I don't actually know how old he is.
He's a young boy. But I also thought, speaking of like, you know, casting and all that, like I was actually surprised, because I didn't really look it up ahead of time, but the guy that plays Metamorpho, he played Victor Zsasz on Gotham.
You mentioned that, and I was blown away by that. I actually did really like Metamorpho's performance.
He was really good. I mean, I think maybe my only issue with that was that Metamorpho, the one that I'm familiar with, because Rex Mason in the comics is more of like an adventurer type.
Sure.
You know, he's more like a Nathan, like the Uncharted kind of guys, you know, and that's how he ends up becoming Metamorphosed, because of the whole orb of Ra that he encounters in one of his travels and everything. And this guy kind of plays him as more of like kind of like unsure of himself, even though he's like got all this power, but he's also got a son.
That's the thing. I don't know if it's because that's the circumstances that we got with him, because obviously that creepy fucking CGI baby, you could fucking keep it. You can throw that into the sun. Superman wants to throw something into the sun. He should have thrown that baby.
That should have been the stinger at the end.
Yeah. Superman's just like,
Superman's like, all right, here we go.
That would have been great, because that baby was disgusting. I'm sorry. So I don't know if maybe because he's supposed to be playing a worried father, being forced into doing something he didn't want to do.
No, fair enough. But also like it's a thing where you didn't need him to have his baby. You know, maybe you could have had some other stakes. Like, you know, he has a girlfriend at the end. You know, we see towards the end we see.
It could have just been like Lex is like, if you don't do this, I'm going to shoot you in the head. And he's like, I don't want to die. That's it.
Preface this a little bit. I guess I should have prefaced these are some minor spoilers as we go along here.
I did, however, really enjoy seeing him do things. Like,
yeah, he got to have some action.
He got to turn into a big metal like sledgehammer or something at one point.
You know, I want you guys to see it for yourself. But he proves some. You know, he contributes a bit towards the end, and it's like
neat.
Oh, that's cool. I need to see more of what that guy does.
I do too.
You know, it's just he's just a weird guy, weird hero, and it's like, you know, if you want to build something up around him, I think you could, because I feel like that's what we're trying to do. Is we're trying to kind of get some of these other characters introduced,
of course,
and maybe have them be more important, you know, down the line. Like Mr. Terrific definitely got a lot of shine.
Oh, he absolutely did.
And he's somebody that I'm actually probably the least familiar. I'm the least familiar with him.
That same with me, because I even said to you, like, I've read Mr. Terrific. It's just he shows up in like a Justice League here or there.
Yeah.
Like that's how I've encountered him. Or he's in like a movie or something, like an animated movie, but I've never sat down and read a Mr. Terrific comic. I know obviously third smartest man in the world. He's like a genius, all this sort of stuff. But when they're talking, this is my minor spoiler. Apparently he put nanites in Superman's blood. So that's how he found where he was. And Lois is like, what the hell? And he goes, oh, I do that to everybody. And I'm like, does he? Like, does Mr. Terrific do that? Because usually that's a fucking Batman move.
I was gonna say Batman would do that.
That is Batman, because he's fucking paranoid lunatic and he's always tracking everybody.
Right.
So did you want Batman here, but you were like, we're not going to use him because he's kind of played out? like is that or would Mr. Terrific actually do that? I don't know. Yeah, I don't know enough about him.
Well, the other character, Hawkgirl, for the bits that they had her participating in was pretty good. I kind of wanted to know more about what her deal was.
I did too. Because
the way that they portray her, you know, or they represent her in certain ways is like, you know, I'm not quite sure. Like, is this going to be a part of something bigger for the rest of the DC universe? Or is it going to be, are we just going to have to accept that she just is what she is?
Yeah, because I wanted to know that too, because obviously she doesn't have wings all the time. So I was like, okay, so is she human? She's not Thanagarian. She puts the wings on to fly, or maybe they pop out of her. I don't know. We never find out exactly how she gets them. So
there's a few questions. Yeah,
I would have liked to know that. But again, I did like it. I thought Nicholas Hoult was great as Lex Luthor. It was fine.
Hello there. Come on in and welcome to the Fantastic Four. I am your host, Brett Young, and this is the podcast serving up comics, cocktails, and conversation for your listening pleasure. Every episode, I'll welcome a guest to the Fantastic Lounge to explore one of their favorite comic book characters and cover a classic story in which they're featured. And what pairs better with great literature than a delicious drink? Based on my guest's ingredient of choice, we'll mix up a cocktail or mocktail to enjoy in the Fantastic Lounge while we talk comics, mixology, history, and whatever else comes to mind. So join me every month for the Fantastic Four, open for business by the Fire and Water Podcast Network.
Because in 2 weeks, Fantastic Four is coming out, which is I'm actually really excited to see. Again, haven't watched trailers for it, but today we're going to talk about a Fantastic Four book.
Fantastic Four is not interesting, but it's...
I don't know much about the Fantastic Four.
Here's the thing. Yeah.
I'm not really a Marvel girl anyway, but I don't really dabble in Fantastic Four because you know how I feel about stretchy guys.
Yes. We've established that multiple times. But the problem with Fantastic Four for me has always been it just felt very corny.
I could see that.
I've never really read a ton of Fantastic Four books and been like, man, I'm really feeling like I can identify with this. I want to imagine myself being in the Fantastic Four. Like, I want to be in the Fantastic Five. You know, I want to be, Ben Grimm's son.
Have you read any like recent Fantastic Four, or are you looking at simply like older stuff?
I'm talking like anything from my Marvel Comics fandom up until like 1996.
Okay, so maybe it's different now. You know, maybe it's like totally different now. I don't really dabble, so I don't.
Well, also the problem too is the movies up until
they've been pretty bad.
They've been pretty bad, you know, or they're not. They just don't feel. They just don't feel right, you know.
Well, I think
that's
movie
you want to see. I don't
know. I think that's actually why I am excited for this new one coming out, is because they did set it in a different time, where maybe it's going to play better if we're looking at like an alternate 60s universe.
Right.
For these characters. Because I feel like if you try to put them in like modern day, it kind of, I don't know. I think that's kind of one of the reasons it doesn't work. The last couple movies haven't worked. So
yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I think I have an idea of what we're gonna do, what they're gonna do with it, because okay, so like you have Fantastic Four, and per the trailers, they're already an established team.
yes,
Like, so it's already
which
a
is
thing
good.
and everybody seems to enjoy them.
Sure.
And in whatever universe this is, everything's cool with, they're all cool with them. But then Galactus shows up and is going to eat the world.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, we already know in the MCU, and this is minor spoilers, I guess if you haven't seen Thunderbolts, but the stinger has to do with the Fantastic Four.
Okay. So like coming into
Something that they're I don't know if they're tying it in.
Yeah, because they're supposed to be on a completely different Earth.
Right. But what I think is going to happen.
Something instead of 616.
But what I think is going to happen is this movie's going to end on a big downer with Galactus eating the world.
But the Fantastic Four coming into the...
Yeah, and they're going to come into this world.
That's probably what's going to happen. That would be my guess.
Yeah, and we're going to have them, dick around with the new Avengers or whatever the fuck you want to call them. And, we'll see how that goes. Fantastic Four, number 164 from November 1975. And this is a Jack Kirby cover. If you kind of could know, you probably noticed maybe via his art. But on the cover, it's the Crusader. The Crusader, of course, looks like Quasar.
Yes, he does. I honestly thought that's who it was at first. When you first gave me the book. And I was like, wait, no.
There's obviously the whole story behind why this is, because this is before even Wendell Vaughn, I think, has even shown up, AKA Quasar. But this is a pretty sweet Kirby cover, though. I like the way this looks.
It is. He's making a face that I find very amusing.
Well, it's the way that the Kirby draws mouths.
Yeah.
He has a certain way of drawing, open mouth. He is standing here in this outfit. He's got his nega bands. He's got a nega belt. That looks like a nega belt to me. And he's glowing green. And on the sides of it, he's flanked by the Fantastic Four. You got Sue and Reed on one side, and Reed is making a gigantic hand.
Yes.
A big hand, like the claw. And he's saying, "Stop him with power like his. He could destroy the world." And then the other side, you got Ben and Johnny. Yeah. Also, you probably, because you're not really looking at this cover, because we're doing this in a different way here, but Sue has hair. Invisible Girl has this hairdo.
Okay.
And it looks like she had low shower flow, shower.
Oh, is it just like really like that Seinfeld where everybody like had low shower pressure?
Like her hair just seems kind of like depressed.
It might be just sad hair. Sometimes you just have like a sad hair day. It happens.
Sad hair day.
You just have sad hair.
That's right.
But on the interior, so we have the Jack Kirby cover, but I thought on the interior, don't we have like George Perez as like the guest artist?
Yeah. This is like starting like a run of his, because he does go on to write a bunch of issues of the book and or at least be the artist on it. That's what this trade kind of focuses on. Yeah, and then they kind of hint at, in the very beginning here, featuring because the story is called The Crusader Syndrome. And you got Roy Thomas as the writer, George Perez as the guest artist, and Joe Sinnott as the inker, and a whole bunch of other crazy characters.
So did they call him the Embellisher?
Embellisher.
I was like, what does that mean? What exactly are you embellishing?
Well, he's embellishing the art. That reminds me of my inkers. Always reminds me of that gag in Chasing Amy, where like I forgot who. I think it's Jason Lee or somebody is like talking about being an inker, and it's like, dude, you're a tracer. That's all you do is just trace. And I know that there's a certain reason, ways that inks, are done, that embellish the art and stuff like that. And I always thought to myself, like, oh, maybe I could be a tracer. I like to trace.
Yeah.
I would like to say, how could I just be an inker? I don't want to do anything else. That's like joining a band and just wanting to be the lead singer and write songs, but not actually do anything.
Yeah.
Like Vince Neil. Like, I want to be the Vince Neil of comics. That's my goal. But they do
I
say
just want somebody to give me a Black Label book. So I don't need to draw it. I'll just write it. Just give me a Black Label. But it has to be fucking Black Label, dude. It's not going to be anything else.
You can write it, and I'll ink the cocks.
Ooh, that's exciting. Like, do nice little cock outlines.
Yeah, I gotta fix it. Let me ink that cock. Let me make it look better.
Make sure those bulges look nice and bulgy.
Right. Ma, look, I finally made it. Ma, making cocks.
Look, Ma, I made that bulge huge.
Oh, brother.
So we start with this one where Sue is practicing her powers.
Right. So what happened was at some point in the past couple issues, issue 159. So this is what, 164. So like a couple issues ago, they were up against Zemu.
Not Xenu.
Not Xenu. Don't get that confused.
We don't want to invoke a name.
The Fantastic Four did not fight Scientology. Let's just be clear about that.
If they did, Fantastic Four would no longer be here. Like they wherever Shally Miscavige is exactly where the Fantastic Four would be.
It's a silly Miscavige and a bunch of Fantastic Four comics.
Yeah, they're in a fucking dump somewhere.
Yeah, right. But no, they fought Zemu, and I guess Zemu has a thunder horn that permanently increased Sue's powers to give both of her powers of invisibility. Because yeah, she can turn invisible, but she also does force fields. And that's an important thing. I think a lot of times, at least people. I'm saying this because of myself.
Yeah. No, I mean, I just thought she got invisible. I didn't realize, as we see here in a couple panels, I didn't realize she could make other people invisible.
I didn't know I wasn't really familiar with that, but she could do that. She does that a lot, and also the force field thing. Like that's really valuable.
Oh, absolutely.
Now granted, it has its limits, but the fact that she's able to do it. It really comes in handy quite often in these in this story, at least as far as I'm concerned. But we start off. She's training with Ben with the thing. Ben Grimm is like jumping on her, trying to leap on her, and she's like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm using my force fields." And
and Rita's like, "Nope, don't be sorry because Ben knows what we're doing here."
Yeah,
I do like I always like the way that they, except for the stretchy part, I like the way that they give Reed the Polly Walnut's wings, the white temples. I've always liked that.
Yeah, it's a very distinct look.
Cool. I like that. I love that, like graying at the temples thing. So I do appreciate that part of the drawing.
Yeah.
So she like bounces Ben away.
Yeah, and then Ben just tries to because he's like, oh man, I'm not doing wells,
Yeah, and also Ben's girlfriend, Alicia's there holding that stupid child.
Oh, yes.
Reed and Sue's kid, who is actually probably about 2 here.
Yes. So the way that he actually talks actually makes sense instead of being a full adult boy, a grown boy talking the same exact way.
That kid was like 12. Like, why are you still talking like this?
You look at the dialogue, the brief dialogue he has here, it's the exact same way he talks in that comic. In that Thunderbolts comic where he's
so much older in that comic.
Yeah, right. He's mourning his family and he sounds like a little baby.
Yeah.
But Ben goes to jump at her and she ducks and he's like, I'm not doing wells.
Yeah, doesn't he go through a wall at this point?
He jumps through a wall and Ben, this is actually kind of slightly gross because...
Oh, is this where the rocks are falling off of him?
Yes.
Dude, what the hell?
People always try to figure out like what is the deal with Ben's anatomy.
Right. Is it just like a skin condition? Or
no, well, it kind of is because basically, he got turned into his skin is just rocks. So what happens here is he goes up to, Alicia and he's like, oh, I need some Excedrins.
And all these rocks are falling off of him and the little kids even making fun of him. He's like, oh, rocks are falling off Ben. I'm like, so is that just like skin cells?
Just flaking skin. It's gross.
That's disgusting. But I saw the exact same thing because not only does it show it like coming off of his head, there's like rocks all over the floor. Yes. It's like he got a really bad sunburn. He's just like peeling off huge fucking chunks of it. It is so disgusting. I'm like, oh God.
In 1975, we were innocent and didn't realize that he was just shedding chunks of flesh.
He's just got like the worst case of dandruff ever. Like he could just bathe in Head and Shoulders and it wouldn't matter.
Right, exactly.
Could you just imagine you're like following behind Ben, like the Thing, when he's wearing his like Ninja Turtle trench coat and his stupid little hat, and he's walking down the street, and all of a sudden just like big rock chunks are falling out of it, and that's his skin. Oh no, disgusting. Nope, don't like that. Don't like that at all.
So we go from that to Ben Grimm threatening to spank.
That's actually very funny.
Spank Sue, and Reed going, "Yeah, sure, why not?"
Yeah, he goes, "I need your wife so I can put her over my knee."
And he goes, "With my blessing, old friend, she's got it coming." Even though he's kind of giving the whole time, Reed's like, "Oh yeah, no, hey, Ben knows what he's doing here because he's training with you," and now he's like, "Oh yeah, you know what? Spank my wife."
You know what? They call it a family, but families in quotes. It might be like a throuple situation.
Yeah, we'll have to see what's going to happen in this movie if we got.
Is it a sexy rhombus, as you like to refer to that?
Yeah, or maybe a sexy docahedron. Docahedron.
Yeah, sure. I don't know how many sides that has. So that's weird. But just before she gets her spanking from her friend, quotes, her brother shows up.
Oh, yes.
Looking like, well, it's kind of like the cowboy from the Village People, but if he was like in a bad movie where like he was supposed to be playing a guy like that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
They're just like close enough. Like the outfit this man is wearing.
Yeah, so it's described. I can describe it as he's not wearing a hat. I thought he was wearing a hat initially, but he's not wearing a hat.
I mean, he might as well be at this point.
He's wearing
fringe vest.
What looks like a green and white alligator kind of shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Alligator kind of shirt with a dark blue vest with his initials on it. By the way,
it kind of looks like it has fringe.
It has fringe, but it also has initials, which I thought were music notes, but no, it says JS.
Cool.
So he's got that. He's got a red ascot or something to that effect. And he is wearing yellow and orange white striped pants.
It's amazing.
And he's also got, I just noticed this on his right hand, he has so many rings.
Oh, yes.
Like he's like Tom Brady or something.
Does he have, it's surprising that he doesn't have like a V with like gold chains.
There's like a small like ring or something on his ascot, but I'm surprised he doesn't have like Mr. T chains going on here.
Yeah, seriously. Honestly, this would be an amazing cosplay. If someone just dressed like this. This might be the only... It's the only time he shows up like this, but it would be the most amazing of deep cuts.
Oh, yes. But
also, I could totally wear that vest because it would have my initials. I'm just saying.
But here's the thing. So Johnny Storm dressed up like this to go on a first date.
It's 1975. This is what we did, baby.
But
looking like this.
Is he going on a date with like Alicia Masters' blinder sister or something?
Babe, people looked real weird back then. Like that. Now everybody looks.
This is too weird, though. This is too weird.
Isn't it? I mean, maybe, but people literally dress like this back then. Like now, everybody just wears the most boring shit possible because that's all that's made. But like back then, people were taking risks.
Yeah, it's true. They were. There
were risks, especially even men. Men were wearing tight ass pants and stripes, and
it's true. It's true. And I say, you know what? I say, bring back if you could swing it, bring back the tight pants. I'm actually more about shorter shorts than I'm normally used to wearing.
I really do would like to bring back the shorter shorts because for a long time we were doing the Kevin Smith, where it was just like this much ankle, and that was called a short. And I'm like, that's just a capri. That's a man's capri pant. That's all that is.
So Johnny's like, all right. I'm going on a date, and Sue, for some reason, it's like that's her brother, and she's like, oh, I'm worried about him because he wasn't in a relationship with Crystal from the Inhumans.
Yeah,
but that's not going on right now.
Oh, I hope he's over her or whatever.
Yeah, and then Johnny actually Reed points out, he's like, I hope he put on the flame-proof
fire retardant like spray or whatever.
Yeah, flame-proofing solution.
Could you imagine? Like if he didn't, and he shows up at this girl's door, and he's just like not wearing any clothes.
You know what? He would look better.
He would, and you know what? She would know what was up.
I just love this part where she lives in Washington Square.
Yes.
So he drops down, and I just love this little this image of him falling, jumping down. He's still
like
kind of on fire, but he's
little.
Yeah, it's goofy.
Yeah.
But he goes and he's having a date with Frankie Raye. And this is Frankie Raye's first appearance.
Oh, okay.
Are you familiar with Frankie Raye at all?
No.
So Frankie Raye, and it actually kind of makes sense a little bit later, which we're gonna get to. But Frankie Raye went on to become Nova.
Oh, okay.
The Herald of Galactus.
Gotcha.
So at some point in the future, something with one of Galactus' heralds goes awry, and she offers herself, because if you may not know this about her, and this is something I didn't quite know about her, that she already has powers.
Oh,
that
okay.
we don't know about, but there's a reason why we don't. She doesn't. She acts like the way she does about it.
Okay. I do have to say though, always love a girl named Frankie.
Yeah.
Fucking cool.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
I feel like if you're a girl named Frankie, you're just like the coolest person in the room, like without even trying.
It also usually means that your full name is either Francis or Francesca.
Or Francesca or something like that. Yeah.
Francesca.
Yeah.
Which
it's
I think
cool.
Francesca's cool.
Yeah, it is cool.
Actually, what is her full name? I'm looking at this here.
It's probably it might be Francis.
I think it's she was by Francis. So yeah. So I guess but Frankie's a cool nickname.
So they go on their date. He comes off the roof because that's where he landed, and gets in and knocks on her door, and they go on this date.
In Greenwich Village.
Yeah, this is in the village. And it does say, like, it has Greenwich Village, and it says, like, the W is silent, by the way. Like, there's a little sign.
But it's the only thing in the area that is.
Yeah, so it's the village in 1975. I'm assuming that was, like, a fucking hip place.
It is a scene. So they're having their little date, and they're in Washington Square, and out of nowhere, there's a blinding light.
Yeah.
Up on top of the Washington Square arch is Crusader. You know, people are like, it's like, oh my God, who in the devil is that? And he's like, whatever, man. I'm not devil. I'm more of like an angel. It's like,
yeah,
Crusader is talking up a storm.
Oh, he is. And he's like, oh, I'm here to cleanse the world of the evil. And so the way I'm going to do that is I'm just going to punch my way into a fucking building, and there's a bad guy. Bad guy.
He's a bad guy, and he actually this guy turns out to be worse. So, but I got something I want to point out. I just love this art, this splash page.
Oh yeah, no, it's great. Where it's like
it's a full page. Him saying, "You may call me the Crusader."
It's actually a really good use of having a giant splash page, because it's not something you see in these also
at least sick flying. Little the middle panel there. That's really cool.
Yeah, it's just really cool to have like a whole page like dedicated to this guy. To his face, the way it is. So he's like, all right.
He says, okay, I like this exchange here. You friends may call me the Crusader, but there are others, the wolves among you, the leeches, the bloodsuckers. They shall only call me. And so he flies into this.
I thought he was going to say the leeches and the bloodsuckers, landlords. Like that's who he's going after, but no.
The politicians,
I mean, it was 1975. They probably would have said lawyers.
Lawyers, yeah.
Call me death, and now I'm going to punch my way into this building.
Punches his way into this building, and he comes after this fellow, Calvin McClary, to which I just like him just jumping in there and just goes, "Hello, Calvin McClary!"
and his wife's there, too. So it's like this middle-aged couple, just like, living in their apartment, and this dude just like punches a hole in the wall and grabs him out of it and just throws him.
Well, he's going to throw him, and Johnny's watching this, and he's like, all right, I don't want, because the thing that Johnny is really trying to deal with here is he doesn't want this woman to know that he wants her
to think he's just a normal guy.
Yeah, he's just a normal guy, even though he's wearing the ugliest clothes in humanity.
Yeah, well, she probably doesn't matter.
But it doesn't matter because her name was Frankie, and she's cool.
And she doesn't mind. She's like, I'm dating a dude wearing a French vest. It's 1975. We're probably going to go have a Quaalude after this is done.
Yeah, 100%. Oh yeah.
This is what we're doing.
They're smoking a J. They're dropping a lewd. They're doing some whippets.
Ooh, yeah. It's 1975. Might as well. Like,
they're swallowing it all.
Yes,
doing all of it.
What was a hit song in 1975? Like. Was America around at that point? Are we going to listen to Sister Golden Hair?
No, that might have been a little bit before that.
Maybe. Well, if it's before that...
Let's say a song from Queen. Let's say Bohemian Rhapsody.
Oh, no. Sister Golden Hair released in 1975.
Oh, really? Okay, great.
Perfect. That's what they're doing. They're putting that record on.
The Sister Golden Hair, that's why people look like this, because they're listening to Sister Golden Hair and shit, just looking like a bunch of
telling
jerks.
you, this is what I'm trying to tell you, because I'm certain, I am positive, there is a picture of my father wearing a fucking sleeveless vest like this.
I would love to see your father dress exactly like this.
He had a handlebar mustache at one point.
I know. I've heard rumors of your dad's mustache.
But Frankie's like, no, we gotta go call the cops. And Johnny Storm's like, flame on, here I am.
Well, because Crusader chucks this dude, and he's like, all right, well, I got to do something. So he jumps into action. He flames on, and then we get this panel of Frankie, and it's kind of like the Kill Bill music going on.
No,
like
100%.
She's traumatized by this.
Oh, at least that's what it says. It says that she's traumatized.
I'll explain. But I'll explain why after.
Okay.
I'll explain why at the end.
Oh, okay. Was she trapped in a house fire?
No.
Oh, car fire?
What?
Car fire?
Ooh, car fire. No. So here's the deal. I know because I was just going to get it over with because it comes up again, and it bears explaining. So Frankie Raye is the stepdaughter of Phineas Horton, Dr. Phineas Horton, who created the android version of the Human Torch.
Oh, I didn't know there was an Android version.
There's an Android version of the Human Torch from the 40s.
Oh,
that
okay.
Actually, is like that has been around, and he fought in World War II and stuff like that, and then did go on eventually to come back and join the West Coast Avengers, and also his android body was used. The duplicate of it was used to create Vision.
Oh, okay.
So there's a lot of he has a lot of hands in different pies or whatever, but. This doctor created him, and something happened while he was married. He was with her when she was a kid. That she was accidentally doused by a bunch of fire-inducing chemicals that allowed her to kind of become her own kind of Human Torch.
Okay, so that's why she has powers.
Well, she has powers, but what happened was her father, her stepfather, was like, "Yikes! Don't want that getting out." So he hypnotized her into having pyrophobia.
Oh, okay.
So anytime she sees fire, particularly her date bursting into flames,
she gets all traumatized.
She goes full Kill Bill.
So maybe he did implant a false memory where she was trapped in a house fire.
Something happened. I remember if I read the wiki here because I was looking at it the other day because I was like, I didn't know about this, but okay, hang on. Here, the government shut down the doctor's research. Ray went with Horton to a warehouse while carrying some bottles of chemicals containing Horton cells, which I'm assuming are the fire cells. She fell through some weak planks. Bottles broke, and the chemicals doused her and burst her into flame. She survived the experience, but found that she could generate flame from her own body. Horrified, the doctor protected her from alienation that he'd seen the first Human Torch undergo, so he hypnotized her and ordered her to forget the experience and develop pyrophobia.
Oh, okay.
She went on to be okay, and actually went on to become an interpreter.
Oh, neat.
Yeah, but I do like the idea of her. Cause I just keep thinking about that when we watched about the Deadly Contractor.
Oh,
where the woman falls through the ceiling.
Oh my god, that was amazing.
But unfortunately, she did not get doused in the Horton cells.
Well, she had been when that oven explodes and knocks her backwards.
Oh, 100%.
She would have caught on fire because she almost did. That woman had a really, really bad couple of days.
Wait, was that movie in the Marvel Universe? Was that a secret Frankie Raye origin I didn't know
100%. That's exactly what we were watching.
Torch sees this guy get flung. He goes to stop him.
Now, I didn't know Torch could do this because he's flame on, all in flames, right? And he's like, I got to catch this guy. So when he puts his arms out, he's not on fire from his elbow down.
Right. So it looks really weird because he has
his shirt still on.
He has shitty arms, shitty sleeves on, but the rest of his body is on fire.
I bet if you looked really close to that shirt, they're tiny little flowers.
Maybe.
Daisies.
They look like little lily pads. But
it could be lily pads and daisies.
As a Crusader recognizes him because Crusader, of course, we'll learn next issue, but Crusader at one point was Marvel Boy, who was a character that was legit around back in the early days of Marvel.
Okay.
That was around when the original Human Torch was around. But as far as we know right now, Johnny's trying to subdue him. he's like, well, I'll make like Spider-Man and just talk this guy to death.
But he doesn't say much.
No, he doesn't, because he's not as good at it as
He said.
Spider-Man
He's like,
is.
oh, I'm going to like double talk. He says maybe 2 things to this guy. He tells him to like can it or something, but it doesn't work because then he's like, here's my nega beam shininess.
Yeah. Well, I do like, well, real quick, he goes, one of the things he tries is Johnny's like, all right, here I come. And Crusader's like, and here you go. And he punches him in the face.
Yeah.
I dig that.
He's not a robot or whatever. That was like a flesh and blood fist that hit me in the face. And so he like zaps him and Johnny kind of loses control.
Yeah, he zaps him with a bunch of light, the blinding light from earlier, and he's just...
And he loses control, and he's like, okay, I don't want to hit anybody, so I'm just going to go up.
Yeah, he's just
so that's what he does.
flopping around. And this is when Crusader is like, oh yeah, that's right, I have to fuck with this guy.
Yeah, that guy's still not dead. And I want that guy to be dead. Like, that's his whole point.
Right. And so he's like, all right, well, let's do this. And he takes a piece of rock and flings it at this dude.
Are you sure it's rock? It might just be a piece of Ben Grimm's skin.
Oh yes. It's Ben Grimm's part of his elbow skin.
Gross.
And he chucks the entire thing at this McCleary guy.
He throws it, and then we just get this close up of this woman's face, just like horrified.
Yeah.
Just like horrified because guess what? He like got him dead on, and all you can see is like feet sticking out.
Yeah, it's like the Wicked Witch of the West.
Like it's the Wizard of Oz.
Or yeah, Wizard of Oz.
It is very funny.
So let me point this out, though. This guy, not dead.
Does he have powers too?
No, but you
How
might
do
as
you
well.
survive getting a fucking boulder thrown at your face?
Yeah, I don't know. This is kind of ridiculous. So this guy is pretty much mulch.
What, did he 127 hours it? Was he just like, I'll cut off this part and I'll be alive?
But I'm underneath this whole thing, so I'll just cut off my legs, and my legs will live on as me.
Yeah, maybe he's a head in a jar, like in Futurama.
Nice. And that's how I survived being crushed by a boulder.
That sounds right. Johnny Storm's flaming off, and I didn't realize that like he loses the ability, like if he exerts too much energy, he can no longer
hold on to it.
Yeah. So
because being the mutant, like sometimes you would think to yourself that, and even kind of Sue kind of shows us off. I mean, Reed shows us off in a little bit too, where like you have these powers and you're like, well, I have these powers, I could do anything, but your powers are only as good as the body you're in.
Right.
So if you're Johnny and you're trying to, if you go too hard, you can't keep up the part of your whatever it is in your body that's allowing you to stay on fire.
Right.
It's just how it is.
Yeah.
So that's kind of it's kind of interesting, I think. Well, it's kind of like too, like when you watch like maybe like an X-Men movie and you see like Jean Grey trying to like hold something up, or you do some telekinesis and it's hard to do.
That's just what happens to Jean all the time.
Well, it's Jean. Okay, it's a bad example.
Jean. It's really a bad example because Jean can just be like, I'm trying to move a piece of paper, and she'll go, eh. Like, especially the fucking...
Jean's on the ground.
The cartoon, the 93 cartoon, like, literally, like, she sneezed and she, like, pass out from exertion. It was ridiculous how often that woman was passing out.
They're sitting at like a lunch, and he's like, Jean, can you pass me the ketchup? And she uses her powers and just
over. That's just
falls
what
off her
happens.
chair.
Yeah. It's just because she's like, oh, I've exerted myself.
But he has enough wherewithal, Johnny does, to make a 4 in the sky, which is a way to kind of let the rest of the team know that he needs them.
Yeah.
And he's about to crash into a building that might as well be if we're in, Washington Square, it might as well be in Harlem.
Yeah.
Because it's so far away. They're watching him fall, and Reed is like, well, we can't get to the car, our fantastic car, fast enough.
He says, we'll never reach him fast enough if we try to get the car. So he's like, well, I can reach him fast enough. Thing, hold my hips or legs, whatever. And he just stretches out of the window.
He stretches the entirety of what must be...
Oh, many city blocks.
Many city blocks. To turn himself into like
a parachute
of some sort that allows Johnny to fall safely, and then
he's basically that rainbow parachute.
Yes,
that's what he turns himself into, and which is disgusting. I have to say, because Reed is also like, it's just gross.
This is when you talk about your issues with stretchy guys,
This is my issue with stretchy guys.
and it makes total sense.
Yeah, it's gross, right? It's like, because not only is he, then you're going to like fall into him and use him as like a fucking trampoline, like his skin. Like that's as gross as Ben Grimm, like dropping rocks to me. Like it's just so gross.
The stuff with skin in the Fantastic Four it's gross. It's gross, and we need to rein it in.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is with when Fantastic Four and Stan Lee and Jack Kirby was like, it'd be great if we had a bunch of weird skin things. That'd be great, Jack.
Somehow, so Ben Grimm is holding on to Reed, and he wasn't inside the tower, but then they're like out of the tower. So I don't know if he jump?
Because Ben's holding on to it, and Sue's holding on to Ben, and the rest of Reed's body contracts.
So it pulls him. Okay. Because I was wondering, I was like, did Ben jump out of the window? I didn't exactly understand.
No, all of a sudden they're just getting a ride because they're
it's like a rubber band.
Because Ben's holding his friend's hips.
Yeah,
he's holding his junk.
It is a very funny picture though that they draw in there of
him falling.
No, of Sue and Ben up there, and it's gross. So they get pulled over, and
Sue actually does something pretty cool where she uses her powers to create a force field for them to have like a cushion to fall.
Yeah, so they don't just like hit as hard as they can. So they're on a rooftop.
Here's where I think it gets gross. It's really gross here. You see this picture here?
Is it the legs? I already took a picture. That's going in our little thing.
It's pretty nasty.
Disgusting.
It's so, and I do like it because Reed's on the ground and Ben and Sue are trying to get to him, and Ben's just like, get out of the way, you dingbats.
Yeah, because there's like all these people just like ran around to be like, oh my god, a stretchy guy whose legs are literally like.
You should just be vomiting constantly when you see the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, it's pretty gross.
That man's skin's on fire. That man's flaking off chunks of rock. And the other guy's all bendy, all elastic and gross.
Yeah, everything's disgusting. The only one who's not gross is that lady.
Who, Sue?
Yeah.
Well, Sue's skin becomes invisible.
But invisible is fine. I can't see that. It's not like she became invisible and was like, oh, but you can still see my organs. Here's my digestive system.
I'm surprised that wasn't a thing. I'm surprised that they didn't do that thing and Reed had to figure out something.
Or like her skin splits open and she's like invisible. Like, I don't know, she peels like a banana or some fucking nonsense. Oh, no. I'm surprised that didn't happen because they're all very gross body horror things except for her. She's like the only one who doesn't end up in a fucking Cronenberg movie.
You're right. So they all catch up to each other, and they're in this force field bubble so they can talk about what their plan is here. Yeah. I like this guy, though. That looks like Mel Brooks.
Yeah.
And they're kind of like, hey, what's going on there? But, and Johnny's explaining, like this guy showed up, and he's talking like he's from another world, and he just brushed off all of my attacks.
He hucked a guy.
He hucked a guy, and then hucked a rock at that guy. That guy's somehow still alive. I saw this guy hack off his lower half. Yeah. Now he's just a pair of legs.
Like in King of the Hill, where he loses his knees, Hank's dad.
Oh, right.
It's just the opposite. It's the opposite. He just puts his head on top of the knees, and that is what happened to that gentleman.
Indeed.
Yeah.
They're trying to figure out what to do next, and Reed has an idea, and he's like, well, I'm feeling better now that my skin has come back to normal, and I'm not just gooping my legs everywhere. So we need to track this guy down. So he's looking for Crusader, and the rest of them go back. He's like, the rest of you guys go back to the building.
Yeah, he's like, it'll be too conspicuous if all four of us go down there. I'll go.
I'll go and do the most conspicuous thing I could possibly do.
Exactly. I will be on my legs so long that I am taller than buildings in New York City. Yeah. No one will notice.
I am taller than that building Jen hates.
Oh, man, it's basically like that building is just like Reed Richards' leg. That's just one of them. You put two of them next to each other, and I can't. So yeah, but that's what he does.
But even Ben points this out too. Because Ben's like, okay, hang on. So a middle-aged egghead in long blue underwear with stilts for feet, and he wonders. He's talking about us being conspicuous.
He's right.
And Ben's just like, whatever. We'll just go home.
That's kind of where we end.
This last image here is
Oh, yeah, Reed.
It's Crusader materializing on some rooftop while Reed is doing these long strides, being real gross, and the rest of the team just being like, all right, let's go. The next issue, The Light of Other Worlds. And we're going to talk about that next week. I'm actually looking forward to that because the true origin of Crusader is something.
He's not his own father or anything, is he?
No,
okay.
But it is weird.
Okay, fair enough.
There's something because you think he's one person, but then actually not in this particular issue, but later on down in Marvel publications, it's somebody. He ends up they retcon it for that he's somebody else.
Oh, okay.
He's somebody else wearing a headband.
Yeah.
There's a whole head.
You have to wear a headband.
Yeah, there's a headband issue going on here, and it gets weird.
You couldn't be that person because that person's not wearing a headband.
But I do actually. I want to say this much. Like, I know I might bag on Fantastic Four in some ways, but I do enjoy some of the really like goofy things in the book that have to do with like science fiction-y.
Oh, sure.
Just ways that stuff is presented, and what I don't like is having to hear Ben Grimm being like, "Hey, Stretcho, what's that?" It's like, just let him do his job, all right? You're the pilot, you fly the car, let Reed figure everything else out.
Fantastic Four's never been my bag. I do, however, appreciate the corniness. I mean, I love Silver and Bronze Age shit, especially when it gets fucking weird. I mean, how many of those World's Finest have we talked about where it's just like, why did this even happen? I don't know. Superman's an ape now, but he did it to show Lois she doesn't want to marry him or whatever fucking reason he has. You know what I mean? Like, that's this. I like that sort of shit because it's so dumb, and I appreciate that. But I just don't like stretchy guys.
Lois, my skin is flaking off in rocks. Marry me.
I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet, to be honest with you. You know what? It probably did. It's probably like a super baby backup or some bullshit. When he was I never liked Super Baby, but yeah, when he was Super Baby.
Who was the flaky Super Baby.
Ugh. It's like, help me, Lois. I've become rocks. You got to put me back together. Basically, he's Humpty Dumpty.
Yeah, that's gross.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
Humpty Dumpty in general is gross when you think about it.
Yes.
A man who falls off a wall and cracks into pieces.
Yes, if you take it literally, it is an egg lawyer, if you will, who falls off a thing and cracks, and just his insides are everybody, and everyone has to put him back together.
And then the rest of the king's men.
Even though it's not literal, yeah.
Yeah, and then the rest of the people that are the king and the king's men or whoever, they gave up. They go, you know what? Fuck it. He's just a bunch of pieces now.
Fuck that guy.
That's going to do it for this episode. That is Fantastic Four, number 164 from November 1975. Thanks for listening. You can find us on our Twitters and Instagrams and whatever, Threads, Blue Sky, Facebook, of course. worstcollectionever@gmail.com is the email address. And please rate and review the podcast anywhere you get it. Find us on YouTube as well. Angry Hero. Actually, no, it's not Angry Hero 79. It's Worst Collection Ever. So you can just search for that on YouTube, and you can find uploads of newest episodes, old episodes that I'm trying to make look more attractive. Hopefully, maybe get some metadata hits, things, tags and that. Some people. The most important thing is if you're a fan of this show and you like the show, I know you're out there. Tell your friends to listen to the show as well. Tell two friends. 2 friends is great. That would be really helpful. So once again, folks, thanks for listening. Talk again next time.
Bye.